Hello everybody, welcome back to Hey Averys. We're so glad you could join us. We hope you're liking the videos that we're sending out there, and please feel free to share them. This entire mission is about helping people become free in Jesus and experiencing freedom from all the different worries and cares that go on in the world. We just want to help be a beacon of light for people and help set them free.
Yes.
So please share. Hit the like button.
Yes.
Yeah.
So today we wanted to talk to you about why is it so scary to be vulnerable with God? And we were in a worship service recently, and
why is it so scary to be vulnerable at all? Like,
in general.
Even when you're in a crowd, I mean, you just kind of, go ahead.
But especially with God. And I just find it perplexing that people try to hold back from God. Like, he doesn't know what you're thinking. He doesn't know what you're feeling already. Like, you don't have to hide it from him. He already knows, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a good reminder. But we were at this worship service, and Steve was playing drums, and so I was watching him, and he really gets into it. He really worships when he plays drums.
Yes.
It's not just playing the drums with the band. It's like real worship for him, and it's such a joy. Like, just to watch him helps me enter in you.
It makes me feel good.
Yeah, really, because you can just see that, like, it's just very authentic, your relationship with the Lord. So anyway, I was watching him worship, and it really just helps me, like, press in and worship. And but before I did that, like, I noticed everybody around me, and people were just kind of like, you know, singing, or like they weren't, it wasn't active. And I really felt like God was stirring my heart to just talk about this, because we don't want to be like spectators in our relationship with God, and especially in times of worship. We want to be participants, active participants. And
because there's so much to be had, and there's so much rich treasure that when you become vulnerable and release, and it's just all of a sudden there's only one, there's an audience of one, you know, it's God and you, and there's so much reward that's within that realm of losing yourself in worship. And just for some reason we have a difficult time, you know,
letting it all go.
Or just raising your hands, you know, and things like that.
And like, I think it's one practical way that you can begin to, like, actively worship in your services, or even at home, you know, when you play music, is just to close your eyes. When you close your eyes and you just block whatever anybody else is doing, just block it out, because it can be so distracting. Somebody could be like sending directions to the church to some friend that's coming on their phone, or replying to their kids, or, you know, fumbling with their purse, or somebody's talking. Like, it's so distracting. So just close your eyes and block it all out. I love the song, the words to that song. Who sings it? It's the words of the song are,
what song is it?
The art of losing myself.
Oh, that's his song.
And bringing you praise.
Everlasting.
Yes, and I love the wording in that song, and it's just so beautiful.
That is a great song.
It is an art. It is an art.
Yes.
That you
the art of losing yourself.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about that is, as soon as you close your eyes, you're closing your eyes because you're trying to acknowledge God, and what that is faith. All of a sudden,
that's good.
Boom, I'm releasing faith. That's what pleases God. He's like, yes, I'm linked with you right now. And all of a sudden, you are in a spiritual realm, and the devil and all the evil forces do not want you to be there. They don't want to see you close your eyes and lift your hands, because that means you're communicating with God. And even though you may not understand what's happening, God sees the faith. He sees that, and he starts joining and becoming one with you.
Because
and
when
that's
you
when
seek,
things really start to happen.
Find. When you knock, the door is open. So he wants that communication with you. I think too that, you know, we sing all these songs like I Surrender All, and, you know, all these other songs. Sometimes you can focus on the words of the song. Like, I love that one when it says everlasting. That line gets me every time. I just think about the bigness of who our God is. And he is everlasting.
His light will shine
yesterday,
when all
today,
else fades.
Forever. Yes. it just lights me up on the inside, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we really just want to encourage you to worship as an active participant.
Yes.
And so we both know what it's like to be overwhelmed with life and bombarded with, you know, anxieties and cares.
Mm-hmm.
And you come into a service like that and you're like, okay, I know I should be doing this. I want to be but I'm so distracted. I just can't even focus. I just feel so caught up in my mind with all my issues
Mm-hmm.
that I'm having trouble here. Like, so what do we do? In Isaiah 61:3, did you want to read it to us? You know it by heart. Go ahead.
I do.
Do you?
Put on the garment of praise?
Yeah.
Okay.
He knows it.
Well, it says in Isaiah 61 verse 3 that we should put on a garment of praise for a spirit of heaviness.
Yeah.
See?
So when you're feeling that spirit of heaviness, what do? God made a way. We put on the garment of praise. Isn't that
Amen.
amazing? So it's a struggle. Yeah, it's a fight. It's like you're putting it on. It's very purposeful. It's not like, oh, just let it wash away. You know, let it like sweep over me. No, you do it. You put it on. So you close your eyes, you block it all out, and it's just you and God. And often in worship, that's where I'll bare my soul sometimes. Like, God, you can see my pain. Like, I'm hurting right here.
Yep.
I'm facing this situation, and I don't know what to do about it. And so I'm just like, I got to put it in your hands.
He's the one who actually has the answers, and he sees the way out.
Yeah.
And the way he likes delivering that is through worship, through communicating with God, and just surrendering yourself. And again, you may be in a church that is not very expressive, and it maybe feel uncomfortable, what have you. Well, guess what? You know, you can be home. You can raise your hands to God. You can close your eyes, say, God, help me.
Yeah.
But I am telling you, it's almost like when you surrender like that, I think about it like I'm giving a handshake with God. I'm lifting my hands up. I'm surrendering myself. I'm becoming vulnerable. And there's nothing better that God, you know, he wants to honor that.
Yeah.
And he wants you to surrender. So.
Yeah, and I know there's been so many times in our life when we've watched other people in services do that, or even like I know you shared about the time when we were in San Francisco and you really like overrode your natural feelings.
I screamed in church.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. And it was like startling, you know, everybody looked and whatever, but it was in a spirit of reverence. It wasn't out of place. It wasn't, you know, it might have caught people by surprise, including me, but it was breakthrough. And so when you're in a service like that and you see someone like scream or shout or just really worshiping hard, just don't judge, because you don't know what God's doing in their life in that very moment. Yep. And we just know firsthand that serious, honest to goodness breakthrough has come from those moments of full surrender.
Absolutely.
So don't stay stuck. There's ways to get past where you are. You don't have to stay stuck.
And Jesus,
get your worship on. And
Jesus said in John 7:37, on this last day of the festival, he was just saying like, "Ho, anybody who is thirsty, if you're thirsty, let him come unto me and drink. For out of their belly shall flow rivers of living water." There is actual life inside of you, and it needs to be released. And sometimes just a hallelujah, just raise a hallelujah, shout hallelujah to God. And there were times where sometimes you feel so much pressure. You know, I just felt like releasing and just shouting out to God. I didn't care what anybody thought at that point in time.
Yeah.
But you know what? Zig Ziglar said a long time ago, be a thermostat, not a thermometer. You know, and sometimes we just want to blend in with the crowd. But hey, guess what?
Yeah.
Sometimes your obedience and your shout is going to help set somebody else free, because you're being a thermostat and you're setting the temperature in the room. Come in there with enthusiasm and just, you know, on fire for the Lord. And sometimes you may not feel that way, and you might feel like, what am I doing? Hey, you know what? At least you're doing it for Jesus.
Right.
And you make habits of that, and eventually you're going to have this breakthrough. And God's going to take you to higher heights.
Yeah, even in the service we were just in, like, you know, recently, when we left, I remember you said, I know that breakthrough happened during that service. Like, I remember you said, like, I feel personally like I went to new levels spiritually in that service.
Yeah.
And so one moment of surrender like that in the presence of God can take you from where you were stuck in a situation far beyond. You'll find freedom that you didn't know was possible from things you've struggled with forever, you know, insecurities or whatever, and you'll go so much further than you dreamed.
Yep.
So be vulnerable with God.
Yes.
If you can't be vulnerable with God, you can't be vulnerable ever with anyone. He's trustworthy.
Amen.
He's never going to reject you or turn his back on you or judge you for being just not
He's
perfect.
going to love you like nobody can love you.
Yes. And
Amen.
we love you.
Yes.
So thank you for subscribing to our channel and hitting the like button. Please share the videos. We want to just help and encourage you, as many friends as you have. We just want to get it out there. So
we want you to just have a friendship with God and be able to just lift your hands up and celebrate with Him. Things like that are going to do nothing but improve your life.
Yes.
We promise you that.
So have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.